What is up, Misfits and Moonbasers? This is your boy Ray Recall with part 2 of the Orthia review. And if you haven't seen part 1, look at the link in the description. But right now, we're going to get into the combine mode. So, basically, we're going to just take we're going to go into the different configurations for arm and leg for all the limb bots and how to get into torso mode for Alita 1 herself. So I'm going to just set these off to the side and go from there. So to get started, we'll just start with the main woman herself. So what you're going to do is just take her head, rotate it back, and then push it down. Ish, I think. No, wait, no. My mistake. Take her arms and straighten them out. They'll click into place at the elbows. There we go. Take this panel here and shift it up. The hand will flip in and this to work. There we go. And as you can see, this is on a double hinge, so it will open and move back, and then this tab goes into that port right there to lock it all in. Do the same with the other arm. Come on, you. There we go. And tab that in, arm up. Come to the torso section, open it up, and bring out this strut right here. At the same time, you can push the robot mode head in, and it should be that whenever you close the torso, there we go, it all lines up. There we go. So, once you've done that, you take the back section, and you remember that little soft tab right there, just rotate it 180. There we go. Bring the legs down, make sure they're all straight and whatnot. Is this straight? I don't think this is straight. Come on. There we go. And then, yeah, this one's straight. Okay, so now with the legs, you want to rotate them so that the feet are facing outward. Flip this panel up, like so. Drop them down. And as you can see, there's a tab here that goes into that notch right there. So you just want to kind of tab and notch them together, like so. And then you can bring these panels back down to fill in the gaps. Take the toes, bring them down. Coming to the front, you want to take these panels, flip them up. The chest section, you want to take these panels and they will tab in like so. These little wing tips will go into these notches here, and then you take this part of the wing and fold it flat, forming the chest piece. And finally, you want to take this strut, open it up, move it back, and then this will just drop down into there, tabbing into place. Take the combine mode head, rotate it around, and there you have the completed torso mode for Alita 1. And as you can see, there's a lot more stickers in here, and it has a little bit of a shiny effect, but it's nothing too distracting. Just going to straighten these out. There we go. There we go. Now we put her off to the side. Once again, even though these are all slightly different molds for the limb bots or whatever. The engineering on them is all exactly the same. So what works as an arm mode for one will work as an arm mode for all four. What works as a leg mode for one will work as a leg mode for all four. So, just real quick, we'll get Moonracer. Take her weapon, put her off to the side. And we're just going to go with the canonical configuration, the one that they give for the Orthia blueprint that I was talked about in the last video. So to do that, I'm just going to open these up, rotate at the waist. Moonracer is going to be an arm, so you want to take this. First, you want to take everything, rotate it back around so that you can open this up. Take the chest piece, fold it back, and then fold this down. That'll just sit there flush. Take the arms, lift them up, just like you had in vehicle mode. And I don't know if you can tell, but whenever you close these, there's a tab that goes into that slot. And this tab will go into a slot right there. So it all just kind of fits together. And then you take the hands, oops, and rotate them in, just like so. Flip up the combiner port, which on this is a little bit tough, but I can finagle it. There we go. Rotate so that you have the whole body assembly like this. Fold up the feet. Again, you can see that there's that notch, there's that tab. Just goes right over. Put the feet together. And then you want to bend it at, let's see, you want to bend it at this hinge right here. Right there. That'll be your elbow joint. There you go. And then this part just kind of sits flush along there. Then what you do, take her prime armor, open it up, put the thumb down. I like to have them configured like this so that way, you know, it looks like a hand instead of having a hand with two thumbs, which is kind of weird. Like that. Plug it in. And there you have an arm. Now an alternate way you can do this if you want to have more clearance is to take this and kind of have it situated like so. So you can see the difference, and it'll give you more clearance for here. So I personally like this version, so we'll go ahead and do that. And this is how you would like to have it in whenever she's a shin, because that'll also give you the clearance to have this as a knee. There we go. Let's see. For leg mode, we'll go with Lancer here. Take a weapon, put it off to the side. And you basically want to do the same thing. Pretty much just get her into vehicle mode, more or less. There we go. Put out her arms like so. And this is where the retool kind of comes into play, because if you just look, there we go. This is a more cohesive knee than that. So I think that's why they retooled the forearms for her in green light. The combiner post. Now for the shin mode, you want to come down here, flip this out, leave it like that. Take the feet, of course, put the feet away. Come on. There we go. Now for this, for shin mode, you, there we go. You want to take this tab right here. Come on. Take this tab and put it into this notch. So you want to take as far as it'll go and notch. As far as it'll go, notch, tab the legs together. And if you notice, if you did everything right, there are 2 tabs here and 2 notches there. So that'll just kind of finagle into place. If I can get it to finagle. There we go. Like so. Then what you want to do is you want to take one of Elite 1's prime armors, the feet. We'll take Lancer's Sonic Electro armor. Move these forward so that the little tabs don't misalign on the ground. Plug them together like that. And then you get an extended heel spur for the combined mode robot. So take this, plug it in, and you have a shin all done. And you do get some tilt with that, but we'll get into that in this minute. So let me go ahead and transform up the other 2, and I'll be right back. Alrighty then, so without much further ado, go ahead and bring in everybody and just get them all combined up, shall we? Let's. Okay, so these work as the typical Combiner Wars Power of the Prime. You got a port, you got the spring-loaded receiver, and this just kind of drops in. There we go, and it just locks into place. Same on the other side. There we go. And now you have 2 legs done. Expected. Let's see if I can. Yeah. Nope, still not tall enough. Okay then, let me try something else. There we go. Had to remove the entire stage. There we go. A little less stable, but it's all right. And then for here, same thing up top. You have that little spring-loaded receiver that the arm just drops down into. The same on the other side. There we go. And she doesn't want to stand on my mattress, which is understandable. One moment. There we go. Much better. So, as you can see, it's kind of hard to get her all in frame. Pretty much impossible, especially with my camera. But there you have Transformers Generations Combiner Orthia in combine mode. And oh my goodness, it took way too long to put this combiner together. Not that it took too long to put it together as in assembly, but just took forever for these 2 to finally show up to the party. So let's get a real good look on that head sculpt. You can see looks just like a bigger version of Elite 1's head. Nice crisp paint job. Nice sculpting all around. And yeah, so for articulation, head is on a rotation with a hinge back here. So she can look up that far, not down at all. The Power of the Prime's joints are ratcheted. They can go in and out. Has a bit of a bicep rotation. If you have the bend at these joints, you have about 90 degree of bend at the elbow. Wrist is on a rotation. Thumbs are on ball joints and the fingers are on hinges. Nothing at the waist. Down a little bit. There we go. Legs can go forward about that far, back very far. Full outward kick. You get a rotation at the thigh. Bend at the knee with the knee rotation as well, but don't really need that. And then the feet are on, oh boy, a rotation and a ratcheted tilt. Now let's see if I can get this mess all back together. Oh boy, technical difficulties. One moment. And we're back. So, yeah, as you could probably tell, not the most sturdy combiner out there. But that was kind of the case for most of the Prime Wars trilogy combiners, and I have tried to go into some of these joints and tighten them up, but it had mixed results. And like, for example, like this foot just completely comes off, so I need to thicken up this peg in order to make that a bit more stable. But as far as looks go, it's amazing. Now, as far as accessories go, of course, you can open up the cockpit and put in the combiner Enigma. And it does look good there, kind of like a Spark, so to speak. And then as for the weapons, you can do some pretty interesting stuff with them. It doesn't have a specific combined weapon, however, Lancer and Fire Drive's weapon both have this 5mm hole in the barrel. So if you take Lancer's weapon and Moonracer's scope pistol, which has that 5mm port, and plug them together, and if you get it lined up just right, there we go, you have a scope pistol that looks pretty good when it's being used by Orthia. Kind of like that. Now, as for the other weapons, again, Nova Star's gun has that 5mm port, but then you have Dazzle Strike. So how do you make a sword go with the gun? Well, stick them together like that. Pretty simple. And it kind of looks like a flamethrower, because this does have a blast effect port on it. And if you take a blast effect piece, for example, this one from Siege Jetfire, and you... it's not really working here, but let me see. One moment. Just... okay, so I couldn't find one that looks good shooting out, but it does look kind of like a pretty boss flamethrower, right? Or if you rotate it down and switch it with Lionizer's effect piece, you kind of get that, what is it, the Shadow Steel Ice Blade look. Now it looks like a pretty convincing Ice Blaster. So you have options with what you want to do. Or, you know, if you really, really want to, you can take the effects piece, put them on like that, and then since this port can go right here, let's see if I can get that to fit. One moment. It's a bit easier if I'm doing this at arm's length, by the way. Come on, give it here. So if you take it, attach it like so, wrap the fingers around it, you have a combiner scaled dagger. So, you got that going. Is it perfect? No. But is it still cool looking? In my opinion, yeah. So, there you go. Now, finally, size comparisons. Here she is with the Deluxe. Here she is with a mainline Voyager. There you go. Here she is with a mainline, excuse me, Leader class figure. Oh, hey, there we go. Finally had the camera fall over the place. Boy, oh boy, I love this job. And finally, since she's big enough, here she is next to Commander Jetfire. So, yeah. Even combiners don't scale with Jetfire. I still love this figure. Anyway. So, that is pretty much that for Orthia. Now, as I said before, her individual component figures were up for retail at different points in time. The top three were Power of the Primes. These two were Siege and, well, technically Amazon exclusive Siege and Generations Selects for Siege line. So it'll be pretty difficult to get all of them together now. But if you somehow are able to get them all together, and I think certain online retailers will still have, probably still have these available. And then as for these, maybe. Definitely get them just to have them, just to get them together, just to put them on the shelf. They look spectacular, as you know, combiners want to do. There we go. Just got rid of my entire set, and yeah. So I guess that'll pretty much do it for the Siege or the Generations Combiner Orthia review. This has been Ray Recall. You have all been awesome. I'll try to make a few more reviews if I can and post them. So be on the lookout for those. Also, if you would like anything specific reviewed, please let me know down in the comments. If you let me know what you thought of these videos. Let me know down in the comments. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next one. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Peace.